Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and in glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahshai Bashim, Rakakdash. I give double honors to the elders and the apostle, of great millstone, who world and teacher of sound doctrine, and peace and blessings to the elect. You know what's kind of just inspired by a topic that I was thinking about, which is uh something along the lines of just because there may be something in here that you know that you may not particularly like, it shouldn't, you gotta do it, man. You shouldn't deter you, for example, especially when you're just getting into this thing and you hear about the kingdom, you hear about the things that you will get if if you endure and whatnot. But just because something may not sit right with you, you can't take it out, man. There's a precept on it. There's a precept on that which I'll get afterwards. You gotta eat the whole roll. You'll make your most. In fact, it's here. Revelation 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Why is it gonna make your belly bitter? Because food first passes through food will first pass through your mouth because you have to chew it, whatnot, and then swallow it. So when you're just hearing the word, you hear a spiritual power, you hear the kingdom, you hear of multiple wives, you may have heard of those different things, you may have heard all the benefits, but then it's making your belly bitter because you also find out, this is not a walk in the park. There are things that are gonna make this walk difficult. That's why it's important that you count the cost as well. Because there may be things that you may have enjoyed doing in the world, but when you're in the truth and you know that you're wicked, you can't do them anymore. That we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. So if there is a form of wickedness, like for example, just for argument's sake, say you used to smoke dope in the world, you gotta put that one down because that's a form of wickedness. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that's how some Elamites, because they follow like Hinduism, that's how they give reverence unto Shiva. You have the Shiva Jatas, which are what you know as dreadlocks. Very popular amongst Benjamin, man. Very popular amongst Benjamin. So, in essence, it's a form of idolatry. So, those things that you once did in the world, once you find out that they're wicked, you gotta put them away. And usually, what happens is when you find out that you can't do something anymore, it becomes more desirable unto you to do because now you know that you cannot do it anymore. But it was in your mouth, it was sweet as honey because you're hearing this thing, you're expecting it to, you hear the word and you expect it to come tomorrow. But it doesn't work like that. The Lord has it to where everything's gonna be put into place in an appointed time. We don't know exactly when things are gonna pop off. Speaking of Marcus, but we can promise you it's gonna be soon. All we have to do is keep on enduring. You cannot lose patience because you gotta think about it like this. If you lose patience, that's going to be eternal. That's going to be almost like an eternal shame because this is going to be written about. This what's going on now is going to be written about, and the elect are gonna have, Lord willing, I'll be part of that number. We're gonna have our names written in eternity, meaning that the story of us is never gonna get old, and it's always gonna be told, because it's gonna be such a great thing that these men stood so boldly for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and they were immovable, no matter what. Family members, friends wanted to depart from them, let them go. they couldn't eat certain abominable food, which aren't good for you anyway. They that which they may have eaten before, they just cut it off. Cause I remember I was talking to a Jake one time. I told him, hey, something as simple as, hey, you know, you can't be, you cannot be eating the swine. The Jake turned around to me and told me he can't stop eating the swine because he was growing up eating it. So I'm like, wow, you say you're quote unquote Christian, and I'm showing you, using the scriptures that the Lord said you can't eat this, and your defense is by telling me that your family has made you eat it since you were young and you can't stop now. Listen, your family member is not going to be able to give account for you in a day of judgment. Everyone has to give account for themselves. And I took the book out of the angel's hands and ate it up, and it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. Now this is a literal. This is speaking when you first hearing the words, and then you come to understand it. So when you first hear the word, you're excited, you're zealous, you want to tell everybody, you want to tell everyone and whatnot. Even if you don't want to tell everyone in the beginning, at some point you're gonna want to, you're gonna have that zeal to tell people. You're like, oh, gee, hey, we descend from these people. we're these people written about in the Bible. Did you know that the kingdom of heaven is coming and we're gonna be rulership? Depending on what you. Oh, I'm gonna drop some facts. You're an Israelite, but a lot of the time you can only be expected to be scoffed and scorned because I remember I was out there and I actually had this guy from Nigeria, and he's I can't remember who interacted with who. I don't know if he came over to me and I was out there, and or I went over to him and he was out there. But anyway, end up having a conversation. So he's not bringing any scriptural backing, right? He's not really bringing anything. The only thing that he's saying is relationship with God. No, you can have a relationship with somebody. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be a good relationship. No, he knows that. Funnily enough, he knows the precept I'm going to. He like he knew one of the precepts I was going to. So I'm like, all right, but it's like he's trying to touch it at the same time. So he knows the priest. So he knew one of the priests I was going to in the beginning, and he completely dodged it. He dodged it for. It was the same video that the elder man had to talk about. That guy, the boy that was talking about. Can't remember fully. It was the boy was light skinned, he had curly hair, or he had it in a bun, and his dad was talking about how he how he went to heaven and hell and back, and how he prophesied over this, some stuff like that. But it was a long video. I think the elder went live, and that was basically what was on the paper. But I was like, wait a minute, my elder already went through this, you know. And I wanted, I wasn't even going over there with nothing. I was just, gonna see, yeah, let me see if he will receive anything I'm saying. But case in point, he didn't want to receive it. He just wanted to say relationship, with God. But and try and get his own points across. But I'm like, you can't just say relationship, because our relationships are not good relationships. First of all, because you can have a relationship with a puppy, it don't mean that you like the puppy. That may be a far gone point, but you get what I'm trying to say. Not all relationships are good relationships. Like a brother and a sister may have a relationship, but they don't have to like each other. I ate it up, and it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. I believe it's Ecclesiastes 1:9. Let me get there. It's like, brothers, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I believe it's Ecclesiasticus, the first chapter. Alright, hold on. Yeah, we have Sirach 1 and 9. Okay, so like, yeah, I'm wrong here. Oh, 1 and 18.
Have you got
Ecclesiastes.
pensions from previous jobs?
It's weird. Ecclesiastes 1 and 18. For in much wisdom is much grief. Why? Because now we have the knowledge. Alright, so we have family members that we love and whatnot. And some of them won't repent. Well, a lot of them won't repent. So what's the judgment written for them? The things that the Lord has in store in Jacob's trouble. So it's more the more we get into the scriptures and the more we know, the more the more it can be like it can make us feel a certain way because we know that we have it, Allah willing, the Lord keeps us, but they're not receiving it, and we try and tell them out of love. And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Cause when you're in the world, you don't really have much of a care because you can do pretty much as much, well, I would say as much as you want, but just in case you're following something already, as much as you can. But case in point, even within Christianity, for example, they ain't following that anyway. So that's why I said as much as they want, because they pretty much do whatever they want, and these people in the world. Anyway, so like, yeah, I have another precept lined up. Revelation 13:16. Slack 3:6. Slack 3:16. Let me just go there. I have to remember as well, there's no new thing under the sun. So how did they treat the prophets of old? Because you have to remember the prophets of old. The prophet Jeremiah, for example, the weeping prophet, the more we know and the more we understand, the more we get grieved by the wickedness that goes on in the world, because we like saying, oh, listen, this shouldn't happen, this is wrong, this is unrighteous. How long these people are gonna try and mock you, how bashing you, or try and think they're gonna get away with it because judgment is not executed speedily. How long these people think they can continue with this? Because the Lord is long suffering, but when the Lord drops the hammer, it's not gonna be no games, man. Let me scroll. Revelation 13:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot, because you have guys that have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You cannot be like that. Both on camera and off camera, you have to be doing the best that you can. And of course, we all may have slip ups. We all may say, what, I should be doing more. Why am I not doing more? That's called self examination. But if you have 1 foot in, you want to present yourself as righteous, for example, in front of the eyes of people. I'm just using this as an example. And then, behind camera, you act wicked as hell. listen, you think no one can see you, the Lord can see you. And that's all, that's really all Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is really enough, because they will make sure you get your judgment. The Lord would much rather you be, if you want to be in the world, if you're in the world, stay in the world. Don't have one foot in the door and one foot out because you want to quote unquote enjoy life. And if you want to be hot, you gotta stay on fire. You can't say you're gonna go back into the world for 6 months to see if you can have some fun and then jump back into. Listen, what does the scripture say? I believe it says, roughly paraphrasing, if you go back into the world, if you follow the truth, seven more demons will jump on you. And those, when those demons jump on you, ain't no joke. Because I remember there was an account of the woman that was following around the Apostle Paul, and she was basically saying, "These are the men." You can imagine a Jake woman saying, "These are the men of God. These are the men of the Lord. These are the men of the Lord." Just following them around. I think it was for about 3 days, and Apostle Paul, I believe, was grieved. And someone was trying to exorcise the demon all over, and the demon just kind of messed him up. He was like, "Paul, I know. Yahushua, I know. But who are thee?" I can't remember, every single, every detail there of the account, but yeah, the demon, and that was one demon. The demon was powerful. The demon jacked them up. So you can't just assume that you'll be able to jump into the world and jump back out. Because you have no idea what the Lord could happen. The Lord could say, "All right, you want to go into the world? X marks a spot. You're out." You don't know if the Lord could take you out. If you're continuously playing with His mercy, you have to show diligence, man. You have to you have to remain disciplined, because you have things like, oh, your woman might leave you because, she don't like what I'm saying. So I have to think about, what I would do to keep her happy. You know how bad that sounds, man. You have to stop doing the work of the Lord to please a woman, when there's so many women on this planet. Listen, there's so many women on this planet. You could take a trip. You're really that desperate. Keep make sure you keep doing the work. Just book a ticket to another country and come back. Like go to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or somewhere, if you really that down bad. But don't make a woman make you fall out, because what does First Ezra 4:26 say? I believe it says, many of, in fact, let me get it.
Have you got pensions from previous jobs?
First Ezra 4:26. Yeah, there be many that run off their wits for me. Do all kinds of things. If your woman's talking about you, your woman's like saying, for example, I'm not saying that I know of this happening, but your woman's basically saying, if you don't stop with this truth nonsense, then I'm gonna leave you, because you're endangering me and my, me. I don't feel good. You know, I don't feel good. You talk about women who have harsh blinkers, like that. This is why I'm calling fake eyelashes, harsh blinkers and makeup. I wanna have fun. I wanna wear my shorts. I wanna do all these things. You better stop this, or I'm gonna leave you. And in the movies, you have a portray where the guy will be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to keep you happy. I'll do anything to keep you happy. If you just, is this what you want?" She'd be like, "Yes." And you're like, "Okay, I might have to talk to the brothers. Because, come on, man, don't be that weak." No, you have to endure. You have to endure hardships because nobody said it's gonna be easy. What does it says in Acts, I believe it says, through much persecution shall we enter into the kingdom. So this walk in itself, you should feel good when you're getting persecuted because you know that you're on the right path. People scoffing and scoring at you. You know you're on the right path because this is a wicked world. So if they're glorifying you, then you must be doing some kind of wickedness because this world upholds wickedness. But if you're doing righteousness, you should expect to get scoffed, scorned, spat. Not being saying literally spat at, but just saying, just saying literally to emphasize how much these people don't like us. That's why they're gonna try and build up a case against us, and we have to pray that the Lord is gonna be with us in that day. Because the Lord may have some of us into prison as a testament to our faith. The Lord may have it to where some of us go a few days without eating, just a testament to our faith. But some of us may have to die. But the Lord pretty much has. We have. The Lord's gonna give. Some of us spiritual power to lift up a standard against these. These guys. Salaki, hold on. This is Luke 6:22, like I was saying before. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you and shall separate you from their company. So this is, in other words, they don't really want to hang out with you, whether it be family members or friends, because they know what you believe in. Because it doesn't sound appealing to them. They ain't really trying to hear that, because they want to quote unquote enjoy life. That's what I've been hearing. I want to enjoy my life, which is there isn't really much left, to be honest. And shall reproach you and curse out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. And this word reproach goes into shame. They're gonna try and shame us. And you see that happening even, you see that happening now. They try and shame us what you're believing. They try and stick something and say, oh, so you're saying this. So no. The scriptures, is what's saying this. And we are believers in the scriptures. They try to call us all kinds of names, but hey, you guys stand firm, and you can't take something out just because you don't like the sound of it. Take away, select it. Let me just get this and then close out. It's in Revelation, I believe. And if I know that eating the whole roll is just take it, is taking in understanding and taking in the volume of the whole book. But this is precept is just a little bit because I had the precept on my mind. It just made me think about it, so I said, why not get it? Revelation 22:19, and if any man shall take away the words of the book or this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. And the Lord is not a man that he shall lie, so if he says that he's gonna come quickly, and you're gonna have to give an answer for it, then you're gonna have to give an answer for it. But that's what that's what was mainly the topic I was thinking of. You have to take in the whole book, even the parts that you may not particularly, even the parts that don't sound like daisies and daffodils, or the parts that you may not particularly like. You gotta take, and when you do videos, those parts, whether you do when you do a lesson around it, you have to bring those parts out, if the spirit permits, of course. But you can't just, you can't just avoid something because you don't like it. This is a race of endurance, man. You have to swallow the whole book. But anyway, I want to close out there. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Rakakadash. Until next time, Shalom.